So just a little short video of how I've angled this insanity of a weighted support for my post, which will have my mailbox on. It was a real challenge because this is where the post needed to be, and there was really nowhere to stick it in the ground that would hold. So I decided I would do something, mimic something that I did when I was 17 years old in Junior Forest Rangers with a group in my team, and they called them gabions, if I have it correct. And they were, I'm sure, made specifically for the purpose, but they were all wired up cages, and you filled them full of rocks on river edges where banks were not nice and supportive and were eroding. You'd just put a whole bunch of these one on top of the other, and we filled these things like you wouldn't believe. 17-year-olds all full of strength and want to show their abilities and stuff, and we just tossed one rock from one person to the other, to the other, to the other, and down over to where we were standing, and boom, another rock in the gabion. And I thought, way back to 17 years old, which would be 42 and a half years ago, because I'll be 60 in November. So I had a memory of that and thought, could this become the support that I might want? So I've angled it outwards so that I have it equidistant to the rocks around for support, but kept it out of the gutter here so that nothing will lodge or anything. So I put a lot of bars into this, so there's lots of support. Angled it out, and this is not budging, as you can see. Like, this is solid. Wired it all together, threaded lengths of wire through from one side to the other to keep it all together as well. And I might buy a few more things to sledgehammer in here just for added support for when drainage does come along this way. But I feel pretty good. Like, this thing feels very solid, but I am going to beef it up just for the hell of it, because that's kind of what I do. I was taking rocks, cleaned up this whole little area here, opened that up nicely, and then it's shorter on this side where I've sunk in a few hooks with long bars on them here. I'm going to probably dig out the ground here a little bit and put the ground on top of the mesh so it doesn't get hooked on a snowplow or something, because I think it's good to have it there but under dirt, just for added support. Can't hurt. But this is pretty this is wobbly here because I purposely don't have it anchored in, because this won't be going in. My piece will be going in, so this is just a sledgehammer. And then once I've got that put in, I'll put in the bolts, bolt it in, and then I'll pile some more rocks to go up a little bit higher, just for added support and beauty. Kind of like the look of it now, and it'll look better, I think, when the rocks just have a nice even edge, maybe up to this height, or maybe not. Maybe I'm going overboard, but at least another rock layer, and then I'll roll the fencing down a bit more so it becomes pretty well invisible. I think that would be nice. So maybe bring it up to the level of that one big rock on the right side. Keep it about that level. I think it would be nice. And I think that's enough for today on that project. And it did turn out to get nice and sunny. Oh, and just make sure I get my pliers. Oh, one more little piece of paper. Something else, might as well take that as well. Clean that up. Whew, that was stinky. Something went by that was burning gas. Not the best way. Okay, so 4399 Nomad Phoenix coming from the ashes, flames. Everything about us now, me now, is drenched in symbolism, metaphors, prayers. Just like the soul prints themselves, this place will be embedded, soul prints embedded within it. It will be embedded within soul prints. There will be nothing left untouched. It doesn't have symbolism in it to some degree, even this golden spiral that anyone entering the premise will trace that shape that spirals in to where the shed is. Everything is thought out. Everything has sacred geometry and symbolism. Bit by bit, it's teaching me patience because I really love just having a whole bunch of stuff done at once and ready. But I'm having to learn some new things, learning how to not overdo it, because sometimes I just don't have the time. But luckily I have time, and having to decide when to stop, when it's just right, when's not enough. It's a new evaluation, because I used to just super indulge. And there are projects that demand a bit of timing. I mean, even with my Phoenix, sorry, you're aiming at the ground at the moment. It's not the most exciting thing to look at, but trying to hold my sledgehammer and my coat. Okay, hold on just a sec. I gotta make life a little easier here. Put my coat, the hood on my head there. Whoa, what was that? Oh, I went on to magnification. Now that's exciting, eh? Let's just bring it. Oh, there you go. It's the wires that I was holding here. Kind of cool. And now my sledgehammer, which is over my shoulder. Oh my God, is this ever bad? There. God, I had my sledgehammer hooked over my coat, hood hooked over my head, and then my glasses were off center, and that was kind of disorienting. So there's that little post. You can just see it sticking up next to the address. Can't wait. Raven's coming up on Sunday, and she's going to videotape me putting up the post box, the Phoenix post box for Nomad, which is Damon pronounced backwards. Well, sort of. You know, a little bit of artistic license. It's kind of seen backwards, except for the E. And originally I wanted to do the AE as one letter like they do in I don't know, Icelandic and Swedish, and I don't know, I could be wrong, but Scandinavian countries, some of them do use that AE, Norwegian and other. So I always liked the AE as one letter. So it's not far off Nomad and Damon, and I do intend to play around with that, because the idea is that you would see Nomad sign, and then if you saw it in your rear view mirror passing by, you would see Damon. And how many people, not knowing that idea but that see it, that would catch it, I don't know. I don't know how. It's almost a fluke thing to happen. I don't think too many people would be keeping the Nomad sign in their rearview mirror long enough to see that, unless they were looking for it, which would be fun anyways. But okay, let's get back to business. Where are my doggies? Wow, usually don't get to get this far without them knowing I'm here. Oh, sledgehammer and wire can sit over here. These little things, the amount of little bugs that I find crawling on me. Of course, I was in a ditch, so who knows what little red spidery thing. Wasn't a tick, I know that, which is good. Nice thing about out here is we have very minimal quantity of ticks. Now, some of that could also be because of my chickens. I should call them tickens. They eat ticks and other bugs. But it's known that the area is pretty low in ticks, even besides the chicken situation. So the chickens definitely help. And then I intend on getting some guinea hens really soon. If my friend Don gets a line on some, then maybe we'll order with him. We'll see. And the key is you got to order enough that you at least have a few hens and not all, whatever they're called, guinea fowl roosters or cocks or males anyways. Because if you order 4 because you want 4 and then 4 of them are male, that's no good. And if you have 3 male and 1 female, it's still not the best. Although you could just keep a pair, a male and a female. I would prefer if I got 4 and there were 3 female and 1 male, then I wouldn't have to trade one. But let's see, what am I gonna do? I would like to walk the dogs a bit later. I would like to eat. These are all the little things. And I would like to work on putting up one of those little tents that are on that bench side by side right there. If you want to zoom in, freeze frame it. If you're that interested, I don't think you are. But those are little shower tents that I'll use for the one compost toilet that I have finished. Got some cool ideas though that I got. With the composting toilet, I thought I should make a couple of extra of the little urine diverter things, because that way I could, like a fresh day, have a fresh diverter put in. I mean, of course, a fresh bag as well, but I could actually replace and have one soaking in a cleaning solution while the other one's being used, and then switch them. That would be a good thing. So for every composting toilet, have an extra diverter so that you can just switch them up each time. That way, beginning of the day, brand new bag, brand new sawdust, brand new diverter, everything. I think that's a nice touch. I also thought about, sorry for being so rude. I also thought about, ouch, what is, we have these little no-see-em things, and I think for some reason I got a few of them crawling on me. So small, which is why you call them no-see-ems. Or, I mean, a really big one could be a no-see-em if you don't have very good eyesight. But I think it's more because they're so tiny. So, oh yeah, ooh, everything's wet. It doesn't matter, I'm kind of overheated anyway, so it's very refreshing. I was kind of thinking about whether or not to go for a swim. I just pushed some